Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra Unit 6 review. That's right, Unit D. So, directions say to solve each application problem by using the appropriate, formula and to write our answers on the lines. So, formulas, dun dun dun. I don't remember any formulas, do you? Well, Unit 6, Review D, is talking about the 6.4 notes that we took. So, we had the 6.4 notes day 1, which talked about growth and decay, exponential growth and decay. And then 6.4 notes day 2, we talked about the compound interest formula. So those are the three formulas that we're going to be discussing in this part right here. So, number 10 says Daniel's print shop purchased a new printer for $35,000. Each year, here's a keyword, depreciates at a rate of 5%. What will its approximate value be at the 4th year? So when they're talking about depreciate, they're talking about decay. So we're going to use this y equals a parentheses 1 minus r times t formula. So I'm going to write that down right here. Y equals a 1 minus r to the t power. So a is the amount, and we're talking about $35,000. R is our rate. It's 5%, but I want that as a decimal. So that's 0.05. And then T is our time, and they're saying by the 4th year. Okay? So here we are. We're going to plug everything in. We have 35,000. And then we have 1 minus 0.05 all to the t, which is 4. Now, you can plug all of that in at once if you want to, but I like to do the part inside the parentheses first. Okay, so we have 1 minus 0.05. So here we go. 1 minus 0.05, and we get 0.95. That way it's just one less thing to plug into the calculator. So here we go. We have 35,000 times 0.95 raised to the 4th power. Okay? And then we get this huge number. So I want you to write all of it down. Okay? It was 28,507.71 something, 0.718. Okay? Now, I stopped there because we're talking about money, and money cannot have 3 decimals. Okay? We need to look, and what does the 8 tell us to do? Remember, 5 or more raise the score, 4 or less, let it rest. So for our final answer, we would round that. So the final price, the printer 4 years after you bought it, is going to be $28,507.72. Okay, next one. The population of insects grows at an inflation rate of 15% each week. If the initial population is 70 insects, calculate the number of insects after the 5th week. Okay, so the word I just highlighted was grow, which is telling us that we're going to be using the growth formula. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and write that down. The y equals a 1 plus r to the t power. So a is our amount. How many insects are we starting with? Yeah, we're starting with 70. Our rate is 15%. I'm just writing that as a decimal this time. And then our time is 5 weeks. So let's plug everything in. Our amount is 70. And then we're doing 1 plus our rate, which is as a decimal, 0.15, to the 5th power. Okay? So remember, let's do inside the parentheses first. 1 plus 0.15 is just 1.15. Now let's plug all of that into our calculator. So 70 times 1.15 raised to the 5th power. And what do you guys have? Yeah, 140.7, right? So y equals 140.7. Now, the only issue is, can you have 0.7 of an insect? No. Even if it's a mutant insect or it's missing an arm or a wing or something, it's still a bug. Okay? So when we round this, we're going to round up. So it's 141 insects. Okay. Number 12. So Tammy started saving for her wedding this year and deposited $2,000 into her account that pays 4% interest compounded quarterly. How much money will she have in her account in 2 years? Oh my gosh, they gave us so much information. And they gave us all that information. It's because they're giving us the compound interest. Okay, that's what they're talking about. So we need to know about the account balance, the principal, the rate, the number of times it's compounded. Okay, and then up at the top you can see we've got some words that they used. And for this one they used quarterly, and quarterly means 4 times a year. So let's just go through the equation. Not y. I always think it's y. This one is actually a. So a equals the principal, and we do 1 plus our rate divided by the number of times it's compounded, all times the number of times it's compounded times t. Okay, so first thing we need is the principal. That's our starting amount, which is $2,000. They told us the rate is 4%, so that's 0.04. Now, the number of times it's compounded, that's what I'm getting ready to highlight it. They were saying right here it's compounded quarterly, and we said that quarterly means 4 times. And then t is our time in years, and that's 2. So we have to be very organized when we're plugging everything in. So A equals 2,001 plus our rate, which is 0.04, divided by 4, all raised, and then the top we have to do n times t, so that's 4 times 2. Okay? Can you see all that? Now, let's do some of these operations. I'm going to do, real quick, 4 times 2, because I can do that in my head. 4 times 2 is 8. Now we need to focus on the inside, and let's do that inside of our calculator. So we have 1 plus 0.04 divided by 4. I want to do that part first. And when we add everything together, we get 1.1. Perfect. 1.01. And now I can type all of that into our calculator. So we have 2,000 times 1.01 raised to the 8th power. And that's going to tell us the amount that's in the account. So it was 2,165.713. Now, remember, when we are rounding, we need to look at that third decimal. 5 or more raised to score, 4 or less, let it rest. So our final answer is, we're talking about money that's in the account, is $2,165.71. Okay, now a little heads up, you're doing the same type of equation for number 13. Okay, so we're using the same formula. Oh, I always want to say A. We don't know what A is yet. Okay, so see if you can fill all of these in and set up your equation. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and good luck. Okay, so I got our principal, which is 300. The rate 1.2. Remember, if you have trouble figuring out the percent, take it and divide it by 100 and it'll tell you what it is as a decimal. Now, the only thing I'm having trouble with is the time. So I know that in 2008 she started it and now it's 2028. How much time has passed? Well, you need to subtract those two, and when you subtract them, you get 20 years. Okay, so let's plug everything in. We got 301 plus 0.012 divided by 12. Okay, and then up at the top, we have n times t, so we have 12 times 20. All right, let's do that center part. We have 1 plus 0.012 divided by 12. And that equals 1.001. Now, up at the top, we have 12 times 20, which is 240. And now that we've simplified that a little bit, it's going to be a lot easier to plug into your calculator. So we have 300 times 1.001 raised to the 240th power. And then we get our answer of 381.329. So 381.329. Remember that when rounding, we look at that third decimal, 5 or more raised to score. So Miss Carranza is going to have $381.33 left in her account. Okay. Well, that's it for review D. If you have any questions, please come see Miss Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Otherwise, this is Mr. Grice signing off. Thanks for watching.